Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Video number 1 of a new series we're going to start on this right here. This is my 1983 or 4, I'm not exactly sure, Honda 200X. Got this thing for all of $50 about a year ago from a buddy of mine. I've been using it a little bit, I've ridden it a little bit, I put a new seat cover on it, horribly I might add. And it does run, it smokes, it's weak. It's just, all in all, just kind of worn out. But I love these old three-wheelers, and we're going to resurrect this one, make it into something decent anyway. I'm not going to say that it's going to be any showroom restoration. But we'll pull the motor out, we'll freshen it up a little bit, we'll clean the frame all up, give it a little bit of paint, maybe do something about this broken front fender, give the gas tank a little love there, paint it back to the original Honda white that it's supposed to be, probably some new tires. Those ones just, I'm okay with the old woolly boogers, but they don't do it for me on this particular three-wheeler. We need to go back to something more original on those. The back fenders are, they're not too bad. I believe they're aftermarkets. Obviously they're missing the stickers. They shine up okay for what it's going to be. Down here, the axle, the bearings in the axle seem okay. The bushings and the swing arm all seem okay. The rear shock seems okay. Sprockets and chain are pretty worn out. Might go ahead and replace those. What else? I'm down here. Like I said, I've had it running. It'll pull me around, but I'm not real satisfied with it. We're gonna make it better. The rear brakes do absolutely nothing except for stick. The front brake works somewhat. That's all I've been using on it. So yeah, it's not best thing we can say for it is it is complete, and it is a good candidate for what we're gonna do here. So without further ado, I'm gonna set you guys up and we'll start working on this baby. I don't think there's enough head there to get a hold of. I also don't think I can get the motor out without taking that loose. So we're going to go to the trusty old vice grips and some heat. What's the worst that could happen? that, I think she's loose. Now you can all watch me struggle to get it picked up out of there. Well, no, that wasn't so bad at all, was it? Alright, so we managed to get the motor up out of the three-wheeler. Not a bad job. You probably saw me struggling on the exhaust bolts a little bit, but all in all, that didn't turn out too bad because, I don't know if you can see it, the light is terrible, but both the studs came out of the heads without breaking off, stripping out. So we'll call that a win. Now what else did we learn since we got it out? Well, sprocket, not in bad shape except that little guy right there. Not sure what happened there. The rest of the teeth are actually pretty nice and square and not too worn. You don't need all the teeth. Like a dirty old hillbilly. Also, the case, I would assume at one point that this thing had a chain failure, because right there the case is broken, like the chain came up, slapped it, and also it is missing the guard that would go around the sprocket and chain, which I'm going to go ahead and assume got destroyed in the process, or somebody lost it, I don't know. But I don't think that's going to hurt us too bad. Nope. Like I said, it's not a showroom restoration. Not overly concerned about that piece. What else do we got? We got the numbers on the motor right there. Don't know what any of those mean. But they're there, they exist. That's nice. So, I guess we're going to continue tearing the motor down. We're going to get the head off. We're going to see how the jug looks. Definitely seemed like it had low compression. As long as the jug looks good, we will go ahead and hone her out. Get a piston and rings in this thing. Probably a new high compression piston. Just because. We'll get the valves all relapped. Make sure they're seating the way they should. Everything together and adjusted. That should be pretty easy. Thing I'm a little concerned with, it didn't like to go into first gear when you push down on the shifter, like maybe it's got a bent shift fork or something. I'm going to be honest with you, I've never had one of these completely apart to see the transmission. It's going to be something new for me, but I'm going to get in there, I'm going to check it out, and if it can be fixed, I'm going to fix it. So here we go. Okay, the disclaimer here. This flywheel, of course, as with anything, has a puller that you're supposed to use with it. However, I don't have that puller. But if you look inside, I don't know if you can see that. Here you go. There's threads in there. There's a threaded hole in there. The puller is basically a bolt that threads into that hole, pushes against the crankshaft, and pulls the flywheel off. So any bolt that's the right thread will work. I happen to have a bolt. This bolt happens to be aluminum. I'm not sure where I got an aluminum bolt, but that's what it is. I would not recommend using an aluminum bolt as a puller. It worked for me, but I could have seen it going very badly, messing up the threads on that bolt and the inside of this flywheel, and making it very difficult to ever get off of there. But we got lucky this time, so we shall carry on. Get you in here. You can see there's the timing chain. Runs up. There's your cam up there. Now the other day I was messing with this and I thought I had it figured out. The timing chain was slack, very loose right here. This was all the way up. The adjuster was not working properly. I fixed it up. It is now tight and in time, but still not running correctly. I don't know if you can see that right in there. And that's not easy to see. That is wear on the case right here from this timing chain being so loose that it was cutting into that. And it must have been doing it for a while to wear it that much. So the loose timing chain was a thing for who knows how long. But doesn't really matter to us right now, because we're going to tear this all down, probably put a new timing chain in it, and go from there. Alright guys, current situation here. So this thing had a problem where it wouldn't shift into first all the time like I'd liked it to. Sometimes you had to hit the shifter 2 or 3 times to make it do what you wanted it to do. Now I'm not 100% sure why, but this bolt right here, that guy, was in that hole. And when I opened this up, it was in there. But it was totally loose. So what I'm kind of hoping is somehow that was causing my shifting issues and I don't have to take this thing all the way apart and get into the transmission, because I really do not want to do that. So I'm going to do the smart thing here. Probably not. And I'm going to Loctite that bolt. I'm going to stick that bolt back in there. I'm going to make sure it's tight. And I'm going to go on with my life like it never really happened. And when we get it back together and it doesn't shift right, I'll have no one to blame but myself. Exactly what I didn't want to happen just happened. Fuck. Alright guys, so that'll do it for this video. We got the motor all torn apart, torn down as far as we're going to tear it down right now. Gonna have to order some parts, piston rings, gaskets. I'll probably put a new clutch in it. I need a clutch tool that I don't have to get the hub off. Such things. Next time we will start tearing the rest of the frame down, getting it all cleaned up. The paint on it is actually much better than I thought it was. I don't know if we're going to paint it or not, but we'll see how it looks. We'll get the swing arm cleaned up. We'll probably put a coat of paint on that, make everything look decent while we're waiting for parts of the engine, and then we'll start putting this thing back together, see if we can't make something out of it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.